Good day and welcome to Fiscally Fit, a show in partnership with Wachovia, a Wells Fargo company. Fiscally Fit is dedicated to discussing everything from savings to investing, from budgeting to business ownership. I am your host, Sasha Wheeler, and today we'll be talking about the game plan. But before we go any further, let's talk to our special guest, Miss Veronica from Wachovia. Tell us about yourself.
Yes, I am happy to be here today. My name is Veronica Williams-Spry, and I'm the store manager of the local Wachovia, a Wells Fargo company located in the USA Flea Market Shopping Center at 8390 Northwest 27th Avenue. Mm-hmm. And my years of experience in banking, I've done everything from new account opening to investments, down to loans. I really enjoy speaking with different ones and helping to empower them into the budgeting segment. I'm excited to be here today, and I'm really thrilled about the opportunity.
All right, well, thank you again for coming on Fiscally Fit. Now, family, today we're going to be talking about something serious. Now, you know, the Saints wouldn't have won the Super Bowl without a game plan. And the Lakers would not be champs right now if they didn't have a game plan. And in your household, to be a winner in this current economic climate, you have to have a game plan. I'm not talking about X's and O's. I'm talking about dollar signs. And the best way to set your game plan in order is to develop a budget. Now, what would your definition of a budget be?
Well, the definition of a budget is a careful plan for adjusting expenses to the income that is expected during a specific period.
Okay. And how often, well, first question is, how far in advance or how far back should they start looking at their bills?
You should gather your bills and put it on a budget plan for at least 3 to 6 months. That will give you a good idea of where you are, what needs to be adjusted, you know, and the leeway that you have in your budget.
Okay, so that means the step one in this process is to get those bills.
Got to get those bills together.
No shaking in the boots, no ignoring the alerts. It's time to look at those bills and really pull them out and see what you have.
It's a reality check, yes.
It definitely is a reality check. Now, what's step two kind of?
Well, step two, once we've gotten the bills together, we need to compare what's going out of our household to what's coming in our household. That's really our net, and that's how we address our budget issues.
Okay.
Then we'll know what to take out, what we have room for, what we do with that extra. So we need to really take a hard look at what's going out and what's coming in, and that's going to help us to set our budget today.
Okay, and we're going to talk piece by piece about what's coming in, the income, and what's going out, your expenses. Exactly. But I guess the next step is, after you got all those bills and dug in those boxes, is to organize it.
Exactly.
How would they best organize it?
The best way to organize the budget and set your expectations of what's going to be going out, we need to set from the highest paid bill to the lowest. So your highest paid bill should actually be either the rent or the mortgage. So we're going to organize it according to priority, what's necessary.
Okay then, and it might be a scary process to find out what you're really spending your money on, but it's a definite needed process to find out, is your rent and your mortgage really the most expensive thing that you're spending your money in? And if it's not, then it's time for some priority changes, clearly.
Correct.
Okay, now let's look at utilities real quick. Is cable a utility? Oh.
We often think that it is, you know, because we like those shows, but cable is not a utility. It's not a necessity. That's something in the budget that we'll learn today, that if it doesn't fit, then we may have to downsize a little bit.
Okay. Now, should we also in the budget add our savings, the little nest egg money we have under the bed? Should that also be put into that overall picture, that game plan?
Everything needs to be accounted for. That's the only way that you're going to get a clear picture of what your true budget is. If you're a hairdresser or you receive tips, or if there's savings income, we need to add all of those things into the budget. And that would definitely give us a clear outlook and a good picture of what our budget actually is.
Okay, so step one, find them. Pull it all in, look in the drawers, look in the cupboards, find them and pull it out. Put them on the table. Get a good view of what it is that you have in your household. Then two, organize it. And the best way to organize it is, what are you spending your money the most on? Now, if it's not your mortgage or your rent, you may want to reconsider, or you may be living with a family member and hey, that might be the hookup. But you want to go ahead and put that in order of highest to lowest. And then the next step will be to just write it down. Sometimes with all the different bills that we have, it gets confusing because you get papers and mailings and all these different things. But if you just put it on some plain piece of paper and prioritize it from there, that might be just the best way to get a clear picture of what you're spending your money on.
Correct. And you can also do that with the income that's coming in. The budget, you're looking at what's going out, you're prioritizing according to what's important, and my mortgage, my lights, my water, my gas, if I have a gas stove, my telephone. And writing it down is the best way to actually have a visual of what's going out of the household.
Okay. Now, there are some different websites as well as some really good, like using Excel or QuickBooks, if you want to be more technologically advanced with how you develop your budget. But trust me, plain old paper and pencil will do the job. I've definitely done both ends where I've written it down and I'm able to fold that up and keep that in my purse and remind me. But what are some of the main reasons to develop a budget?
Well, it keeps us on track. It helps us to excel. If we're not on a budget, then we're not conscious of what we're really spending. And when we write things down, it's a reminder of what's important. When we do it on a whim, let's just say, then we're often off balance. But the best way of balancing and budgeting is to write it down. And the advantage of that is so that extra money that we have, we can better prepare. That helps us with emergencies, should any come up, because without a plan, we fail. So we need to plan now so that we won't ever fail.
Okay, then. And now you started talking about the parts of the budget. You kind of create what they call an income statement. And your income statement starts off with your income. What's coming into your household? Do you fully know how much money you're making at the time, right?
Correct.
Okay. So examples of income would be?
Income, you can use two different scenarios for income. It could be what I get up every morning, I got to report to work. I know whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, that I'm going to receive a paycheck.
So that's active income, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then if I'm a bartender, a hairdresser, a barber, a waitress, a waiter, then I may receive not just my regular pay, but I receive tips as well. So I need to take that into account. Also, if I receive any type of income from the monies that I have saved, whether it's in a regular savings account, a certificate of deposit, or if I own a home and I rent it out, that's considered income as well.
And that would be passive income, and that's
Correct.
the income that you don't have to work for,
Yes.
but you definitely make money off of it. Now, we're going to go to a break and we're going to talk more about expenses, but just an example of something that you can do at home, what we would call our get fit exercises. While you have those bills out, ask your kids to come along too and see what it is that you're paying all your money to. Sometimes children think that they live for free, but this is a great opportunity to show them exactly what it takes to run your household. So come back so we can talk more about how to set your game plan into action. So we'll see you again on Fiscally Fit.
Fiscally Fit was brought to you by Wachovia Bank, a Wells Fargo Company, El Dorado Furniture, and Scholars Today, Leaders of Tomorrow.